trying to reference. You need 217 out because we're going to check it and turn it in. You need 613. It's on the back counter like the habit you should be in. You need a blank piece which is also back on the back counter for you. We're making another one of these. Nope. This. I forgot. I deleted the picture because I made a new one that I wanted to like better. This is not the same that we did before, right? This is going to be an expression comparison mat. We're going to have left side and right side that we'll probably actually label left side and right side. So if you are like me and like nice straight lines, you may borrow a ruler from in the back, or you can get yours out from your binder. We're going to check the homework in a second. I'm just showing you what we're about to make. So people that need a moment to get their stuff out and everything, if you have everything out that you need, you can go ahead and make this. And I made a reminder for myself. Colored in is positive. Open is negative. You don't need what's in the parentheses, but you could write it if you want to. The point of our expression comparison mat is to compare expressions. Two of them specifically. Wow. So a parent last night brought up a concern that I've been voicing to you guys, but now I'm actually going to do something about it, because we're 3 weeks into school now, right? It is Thursday. We're actually like 3 weeks plus 1 day. Right? All this really needs to say is expression comparison mat, dotted line across the middle, and you could fill in, you could go ahead and write like left side, right side. But I have continually been talking about people copying, right? And it's not hard for me to figure out who's copying their homework. It's the people whose pencils are frantically moving. So to check 217, here's the answers. Just the answers. If you are going to disrespect our mathematical practice and learning and just copy your homework, you at least are going to have to do it on your own time. It's on Schoology. It's accessible. But if you are going to copy my homework instead of actually doing it, if you're going to rob yourself of that opportunity, you're not going to do it during my class, because that's offensive. So if your assignment isn't done, you're not turning it in. You're not frantically copying anything. You're going to do it on your own, because it's practice work. If you have it done, check your answers, verify that you knew what was going on. If something totally does not make sense, you can ask a question about it. I'm not saying I won't discuss the homework, but I'm not going to put up all of the how to do it, because people are frantically copying, and then I'm having to write a ton of CMEs to have people come talk to me and explain to me how they're doing the work instead of just showing their work. Any burning questions? You're like, man, I really thought I did that right, but it's wrong. Nick, you got 2 of these, right? Raise your hand, and then I can call on you, and then you can ask your question again. Raise your hand. Do you have a question? Oh. Yes.
I didn't really understand number 68. Even did I.
So to understand that one, you would need to look back in your math notes. Hopefully I put these things in there. There's at least 1, 2, 3, there we go. So the properties that they're talking about are in your math notes. It is the first commutative property of addition and multiplication that says we can change the order. You should have learned about these last year. If you didn't, that's okay. We're still figuring out how this whole compressed 6, 7, 7, 8 really works. But then on the back of that paper, the associative property, the identity property. My keyboard is in the way. And then the inverse properties. So associative, guys, I'm going to pause the video for a second. Oh, it's awesome. Ask 8th graders about Chubby Bunny Kitty, and they will be so excited to tell you. So what the associative property says is we can regroup, right? Come on, focus, 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 focus. My camera focuses like some of us do. A plus B plus C could be refocused A plus B plus C. Same thing with multiplication. 5 plus 2, same thing with multiplication down here. A times B times C, same thing as A times B times C. And commute, what's the root of the word commutative? I just said it. Commute. What does commute mean? Move, but here we move the numbers around, not the parentheses. We move the numbers around, and it doesn't work with subtraction or division. Does not work with subtraction or division. So that's why A and C were associative. They were changing the association. They were changing where those parentheses actually grouped things. And commutative moved the numbers. All right, scrolling down to check more. And then, if it's done and you like it, turn it in. If it's done and you like it, turn it in. Val, you found your Chromebook right earlier?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Excuse me. Guys, a lot of you are giving me a lot of credit that you think I know 100% of names already. I'm at like 80% now, maybe. But if you could please get your name 10 out, I would appreciate that. Or if your binder has your name on it, like where I can see it, that's pretty helpful. Yeah, but it's like we don't change the rules just for one particular person, right? So if I'm asking everybody, I'm asking everybody.
I forgot my binder again. I'll try to remember it tomorrow.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I just don't care about the name. Lucy doesn't want me to learn her name.
I keep forgetting.
If you didn't make your expression comparison mat, please do that. And if you want to put it in a sheet protector, you are welcome to do that. Thanks, so. Here you go. Turn it in, get a picture. Isaac. Oh my gosh. It's all good. I didn't go down. It's all good. Now the other issue, not only is that, I was about to say, our name should be on our schedule too. So you want to make sure you put your name on your schedule once you're done right there. Yes, we are jumping to chapter 6. Who can explain why? Zach?
Because we're in accelerated and we're doing like half of 7th and half of 8th.
This is CC2. If you go to use homework help, it's the blue book. Okay, this is CC2. You could write this on your practice paper if you want. This is CC2. Bless you. Let me make sure I got all my other announcements. Did I put it? I might have. Oh, yeah. Of course it does. Most of us probably wouldn't pay that close of attention, so thank you, Noah. I appreciate that you pointed that out. So we'll come back to our practice paper thing where it says variable, terms, coefficient, constant. We'll come back to that. So guys, you should have this out. As Noah pointed out, it does say CC2. Variable, terms, coefficient, constant. We'll come back to those. We're going to look at 23 first, I believe. So you have algebra tiles in your resource bin, or whatever we want to call it.
We don't.
I can get, like, that just means that they got put away. So guys, if you ever need resources, as we go through the year, you'll start to learn where all my stuff gets kept. Like, my protractors are in the Einstein lunchbox, but you don't know that yet, because there'd be no reason to. Algebra tiles are right up here. If you need more algebra tiles, just come grab another bag. Like, whether you run out, or didn't have any, or whatever. So the left side, we're also going to nickname Mat A. And the right side, we're going to nickname Mat B, because we pretty much never use those variables right now until we get later in math. So you could go ahead and if you want, you could put like side A, side B. But then go ahead and lay out these tiles. 5x plus 2 plus negative 6.
Can I see the map?
The mat again. Yep. So really, I can probably boom. Give me a second. No, hold on. What shape are the X's?
They're like this one.
1 by X.
They're rectangles, right? 5x plus 2 plus negative 6. Even if you think you like know where we're going with this, like, come on, just humor me. You guys know what that means?
Yes.
I never understood what it actually means. Like, I get what it means, but I don't understand why it means what it means. 5x squared plus 2 plus negative 6. Guys, by the time I get my tiles out and walk around, you should definitely be able to have your tiles out. Come on, I'm old and I stayed up late last night. I ran into a Phoenix alumni, though. That was fun. So, fun little learn more about Hudson's story while you guys are getting all your tiles out. I was actually in a fraternity back in college. Not a frat. Not like, oh, let's go party. A lot of us didn't actually drink. But we were a service fraternity, so we just did things for other people. We helped out the community or campus or whoever. And it looks really good on a resume, as long as you're not in like one of the ones that has negative PR. If your parents say don't join that group, probably listen to them. But so one of our Phoenix alumni was actually at this little like event thing last night, thinking about joining. And I walked in the house, and all I heard was, "Oh my gosh, Mr. Hudson!" And I look up, and there's Hayden, our alumni from 8 years ago. Just proves how small of a world it is. So we caught up. It was fun. Yeah, that ride kind of creeps me out. So I'm going to move on. And now it's in everybody's head. I think we haven't shuffled for a while, so we might as well shuffle.
You're gonna get copyrighted from this Val now.
Geez, Val, they're going to mute my video. All right, so Bradley, with our mats, how they sit at the original. Tell me something I can do. Ooh. So, hey, if you have side conversations going, try to squash them. Bradley said, take two positives, or really just any positive and negative that can be paired up. We don't even have to be really specific about it. Make zeros, right? So essentially, we're adding the like terms, but specifically making zeros. So what we have left, kind of like a remainder, is the value after we combined the like terms. Can that happen on the right side also?
Yeah.
Yeah. Twice again.
Okay.
So slide all of those zeros off of our mat because we don't need to worry about zeros now. I mean, yeah, who would say plus 0? That's kind of silly. Annabelle, what now could I do?
Take away 2 of the X's from each side.
Yeah, and some of you are starting to see how, like, when we've been working with a like left mat, which is greater compared to a right mat, like the homeworks that we've had, now we just kind of push the mats next to each other. Instead of saying which is greater between them, So Annabelle's absolutely correct, like we've been doing. Pull 2 x's off both sides. And now where we're at looks suspiciously similar to Garth's work, or who was this? Maria's work. 3x and a -4 and a -6. What can we do next? And I know I put it on your paper. That's on purpose, so you have a reference. Leah, what could I do next?
Can I pass?
You can pass. Isaac, what can I do next? You don't think we can do anything?
Isaac.
I think we can do anything we put our mind to. Lucy.
Oh, we can take away 4 negatives from each side.
Since there are 4 negatives on each side, remember when we talked about the balance situation, guys? Have I shown you the Monty Python video yet?
No.
Okay,
Oh,
end of class. End of class, but we got to get through what we got to get through.
But that's gonna get copyrighted.
No, I'll stop the video. That's why it's at the end of class. I got it, Val. Trust me. -4 off of this side. Also -4 off of this side. Same thing on both sides. Which now still looks suspiciously similar to Maria's work. So, Val, what do you think? Which of these is greater?
The 3x. Because even if it's 1, it cannot.
So if x is 1, this would be 3 versus -2.
Yeah.
What if x is Nick?
What if x is -2?
Okay, so what if x is a negative, Val? Crap. Isaac?
We have the x tiles, like the length of the x, so can we just like measure?
Remember, they are non-commensurate. Remember, x is not a fixed length. Make me pull up flexible x again. We don't actually know how long x is. It looks like a certain length, but it actually, like, that's not a true, does that make sense? Remember, we don't know what x is, and it actually could be a negative, which doesn't quite make sense if we're looking at it like this. But so,
Maybe make the other side red.
Zach,
Isn't A technically bigger because it doesn't say that x is a negative?
does it say that x is positive?
Well, it doesn't
Yes.
say that's not negative.
But it doesn't say that it's positive.
Technically it does, because you wouldn't say that it is positive. You would say that it's negative.
No, your technically is technically nothing. You can't just say technically and make your statement sound correct. Some of you guys are real bad. Technically, we just don't know what x is. Period. Rin? So we can't say which is bigger.
So the world.
We're just stuck. Alright, well that was disappointing. Let's see if this one is less disappointing. Put 2x, and -3 on mat A. You should have like all of these things out on your desk now because we just used them. 2x, and -3. Whoa, didn't mean to. And then 2x, -4, and 1. 2x and 1. Do what you can to simplify these mats as far as you can.
Wait, Mr. Hudson, are you British?
Am I what?
Are you British?
Am I British? I mean, my family is from, like, Europe originally. That's our loading circle, right? We're loading, we're thinking. Yeah, actually, it's probably going to make my video kind of complicated, like, kind of messed up, but we're loading.
Oh, that's
It's the beach ball, right? I need one of those beach balls.
That's a beach ball? I thought it was just like a
No, like the little apple beach. This is just a spinner that I just have on my desk when I get bored. But it's a carabiner. All right. Adele, what could I do to one side or both sides if I fix what my tiles are since I flipped a couple? Ooh, cancel out the zeros on both sides. Now I fixed my mat because I smacked my table. So there's a 0. There's a 0. There's a 0. Okay. Violet, what can I do next?
you can get rid of 2 -1s. So 1 -1 from each side.
Ooh, I could get rid of 1 -1 from both sides. Liam? What now?
Then you could get rid of the x's from both sides.
Yeah, I could. And a couple of you guys said, oh, I know which one's bigger, like, already. But Liam is taking us all the way home. If we remove these, what do we now have? 0 and -2.
Wait, 0 is bigger than -2.
0 is greater than -2. So in this situation, we would need to say
No, we were gonna get copyright.
greater than. Nah, they'll probably just start paying me. Yeah, no, they won't. They will not start paying me. All right, set this one up and try it.
They won't know it's out of focus.
Set this one up and try it.
Yeah.
Do not, guys, if you're going to try to skip over steps, you're asking to make mistakes. Then chat with your neighbor once you think you have it completed. See if you guys agree with each other. Okay, rather.
You mean once we fully simplified it?
Yes, once you have fully simplified it.
Good job.
All right,
We can't solve it again.
Nick, tell me what to do first.
So the first thing you should do is
Bring it back, guys, bring it back. Nick?
the first thing I would do is just remove the pretty obvious 0 pair and the left side.
He said pretty obvious. Flexing over there. All right, pretty obvious 0.
That's borderline E word.
Then, Soph, what do we do next?
We remove 2 positives from each side.
Ooh, we could remove these 2 positives to clean up this side, and we can do the same over here. So yeah, we can do that. Absolutely. Bryson, next.
We get rid of the x's.
Ooh.
1x from each side.
I was about to say all of the X's, but yeah, 1 X from both sides. Love it.
We can't solve it.
Sam, what do we do now?
We can't solve it.
What do you mean we can't? That's a defeatist attitude.
What you just said over here.
I'm an anarchist.
That is not like related to defeatist. But thank you for the announcement, Sam. Why do you say we can't fit like?
Because x doesn't have a true number. It's a variable.
We know nothing about X, so unless we did, we're stuck. We just have X compared to 3. All right.
You flipped
Let's.
it on
I know. I'm sorry. So, what if then? Because Sam's frustrated with me. He says, "All right, forget you, Mr. Hudson. I'm just going to put a symbol in between them, and I'm just going to force it to work." So set up 2x plus 5 on one side. 2x plus 5 on one side. Like the left side would probably make sense. And 3 on the other. And I should have given you all a post-it. But we're going to imagine that we're saying left side's greater than right side. No. Turn this around.
Yes.
Right side's greater than left side, right? Yeah, now it matches what? Is this still Garth?
Negative then.
Is Garth still Garth? Maybe Garth. I don't know. Might be Wayne. 2x plus 5, -3. Anybody for the Garth and Wayne joke? Nobody? Okay.
Who's Garth and Wayne?
Exactly. I'm old.
80s.
I mean, you're right, but I don't know if you just randomly said 80s or if you actually know what I'm talking about.
With that guy named Wayne.
I mean,
Wayne
well,
the Rock Johnson.
no, not Wayne the Rock Johnson.
Wayne the Rock.
It's a joy.
All right, hold up.
Rock.
Hold up. Hold up. This is on your paper. Right about here. I would like you to write your thoughts about how this situation is different and what we can actually determine from this problem.
substitution on a number line.
I know, we'll get there.
It was a number line.
Yeah.
I like our number line.
Now you can go ahead and do some stuff with the left side, right side, and like actually make happen what you think we can do. So what could we do? And then what could we say? What can we do? What can we say? Ooh, I'll pull up the little video. If YouTube decides to ever work, guys, you should really turn your phones off when you come to school because your phone's connecting to the Wi-Fi is impacting the Wi-Fi.
I keep forgetting to do that.
Yeah, that or like, but even then it drains your battery. Like, because there's not much service in the school, especially through all the cinder block walls in a metal box. There's not much service in there. My YouTube won't even load right now. So if we can't watch this video, guys, I'm trying. I got my second screen going. Trying to get the video up, but if don't revolt against me if it doesn't happen today. We'll do it eventually. Noah, what could I do to both sides here?
On what?
On this, on the expression comparison map.
Take away 3 from each.
Take away 3 from each.
Firestone takes care of
Firestone. Hey, look, it loaded. All right, so take away 3. Take away 3. And then, wait. Unless I moved some things wrong, now I have nothing over here. And I have everything over here. Can I take these away?
No.
Yeah, I can.
Wait, why?
It just makes.
So, I want you to talk with your teammate. How could I remove 2, positive 2, from both sides? You have 60 seconds. I'll even offer up a piece of candy.
Yo, I know it now.
Okay, now everybody knows how to do it. Nope, I'm using cards. Talk for 45 more seconds. How could we do it?
You could add, like, 2 negatives to the other side. Or you could add 2 positives to the other side.
30 seconds. Pause. If you're just gonna say, just slide them over and you gotta explain why. Because I hear a couple people saying things that I don't know why we would do that. I don't know why that happens. Unpause. 20 seconds.
30 seconds pause. Unpause 20 seconds.
Well, I paused, and so that time didn't count. It was paused. Now there's 10 seconds. Because that's why there's a clock at the back of the room.
Okay.
Yeah, you could just like take them and add 2 negatives to the other side. Wait, no. You just add,
Holy cow!
yeah, you just
Hey,
add
did I call on everybody already?
No.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I have.
You didn't call on me.
Yes, I did. You were the first person I called on today. I think you just think I was targeting you.
You haven't called on me.
Wait, he was?
You haven't called on me.
Soph, I guarantee I called on you. It was right after you said the E word. Violet, I shuffled. Violet. So if the order's different now, it's because I shuffled. Violet, can you tell me how I would be allowed to take away these 2 without breaking any math rules?
You add negative 2 to both of them.
What do you mean?
You add negative 2 to each side. Like, if
So
you
just-
add negative 2 to the left side, then it's just 2x.
So just bring in negative 2, and because I did it over here, bring in negative 2.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, I agree, because we did the same thing on both sides. But can anyone, and this will work, right? But can anyone explain how else we could think through being allowed to do this? Val, do you got another way?
By, like, what if, since we don't know what x is, they could be, like, -1, therefore, or
Yeah, but let's not
-2.
speculate. When we don't know what something is, let's not speculate what it might be. Zach, do you have an idea?
Yeah. 2 minus 2 is 0, and 0 minus 2 is -2. So.
What?
Okay, so you have 0?
These aren't equal. Are you trying to make these equal?
No, kind of.
Okay, so say it again, but slower, because I didn't understand what
Okay.
you said.
B has nothing on it, right?
Okay.
And A, we're gonna like not look at the x, 2x. The 2 on the left side, right? You take away 2, so then it becomes 0.
Okay. Well, 0 ones, I get.
0
Okay.
ones. And then on
But I
the
can't. There's no 2 over here to take away.
You just turn it exact. So
But
you
there's
go into
no-
negatives.
But I can't. If I'm using the, I agree mathematically. Like mathematically, you're allowed to do what you're saying, but I don't have any tiles over here.
Then put
Caden?
Then you can add negative. Plus.
Guys, I'm gonna blow your mind real quick because I want to watch the video and we need time. Did I just actually do anything to the right side?
No.
It's still 0, right? So, because I know I got to teach in different ways for different brains. You are allowed, like Zach said, mathematically to just say we're going to subtract 2 off both sides. But why that makes sense is if my right side is 0 and I subtract 2, what I am left with is a deficit of -2, right? Because you went from 0 down. So now 2x is less than -2. And what can I do at this point, Colin, to be able to talk about what just an x is? What am I able to, because I don't think I can remove an x, because I mean, I don't think that'll work, because even if I did that, I think a -x would like come over here, like, so I don't think I can remove an x. Is there anything else I could do to be able to talk about just one x? If you don't know, you can pass it to Isaac. Isaac?
The value of x to be a negative number.
Yeah, say more.
So that means that x would be a bigger negative number than -1.
What you're saying is true, but you're still trying too hard. What you're saying is right, but there's an easier way to get where we're going. I just called on you, Caden, so Rin, and then I'll come back to you, Caden, if you...
Could you just say that 2x is less than -2?
We can. That's what this says right now, is 2x is less than -2. How can I get from there just to 1x, though? Whoop-bam! Divide! What you are allowed to do when you have multiple of something is divide. But we have to divide the same on both sides. Like, so if I divide by 2 over here, right, because splitting in half is dividing by 2, I got to divide by 2 over here. So now I can look at just one of my x's still less than -1. So what we could write on our paper is we went from 2x less than -2. We divided by 2 on both sides. And we got x is less than -1. Guys, I want to make your life easier, not more difficult. All I need to see when we go to graph these inequalities is the number that matters, which we will call the boundary point. And then if it's shaded in or empty, which here it's empty because x has to be less than -1, so then we shade to the left to be less than. So you don't need any other numbers, really. You need the boundary point number. You need to determine is it shaded or empty. And then, oh, hey, look, a bunch of answers. And then your direction, right, left or right. Try Nah, we have one more problem that we're supposed to do, but I'd rather show you this.
Why is B greater?
Don't forget to stop the
Yep.